Looking for a new show to crush this weekend? You might be in luck. Netflix just released God's Favorite Idiot. It's a comedy slash fantasy sitcom starring husband and wife combo, Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone. In today's episode, we break down a brief, spoiler-free review of the show for you to decide if this is going to be next in your Netflix queue or if it can burn in hell. Welcome to Films with Farrell. Enjoy the show. As always, folks, hit that like and subscribe button. Stay up to date on all things Films with Farrell. God's Favorite Idiot. My parents actually used to call me their favorite idiot. No relation. God's Favorite Idiot just released yesterday, June 15th, 2022. 8 episodes in season 1. We're looking at a runtime anywhere between 22 to 24 minutes. It is what I would consider, for the most part, a pretty fast watch. We'll dive into that here in a little bit, but pretty quick episodes right there. You can kind of really just cruise through it. I watched the entire season 1 in a night, right? Nothing too crazy. In terms of star power, you obviously have Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone. You also have Kevin Dunn, Leslie Bibb. You'll see some other familiar faces as well. Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone, obviously married in real life, no strangers to showing up in each other's work. I believe, I'm not quite sure, I do believe though, this is their first stint back to Netflix since Thunder Force. That was a Ben Falcone directing, Melissa McCarthy starring, kind of like super power movie. It received a 21 splat rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought it was absolutely awful. The only actually redeeming quality about that movie was Jason Bateman's character in that movie. So if you do really want to watch that movie, you could just maybe find Jason Bateman's clips on YouTube and just watch it for yourself. I didn't really care for the movie. So with that dud, that splat to their name already, first time back into Netflix, I was very curious to see how this was going to pan out. So basically, in a nutshell, the show follows Ben Falcone. He's the main character of this sitcom. He starts out getting struck by lightning, right? Or is that God, what have you. He's getting struck by God, given these powers. Think of like a Bruce Almighty, but a very watered down version. And it is now his responsibility to go out and spread the good word, right? Heaven and hell are clashing. And it's up to him to kind of get more people on board to be believers and so forth, right? 8 episodes kind of throughout there. What I will tell you first and foremost, this television show does have a deep religious undertone to it. So if that's not something that you're really much into, go ahead and skip this series because it's God's Favorite Idiot, right? It's got it right in the title. You will see a large religious undertone throughout. In terms of the actual television series, the pilot for me was a bit much. It felt very forced. We were trying to cover so much in a very short period of time. After that, I really didn't want to keep watching, but I was like, you know what? Let's give it 2 episodes. Let's see what they can do in episode 2. And it started to tame down a little bit. Something I will say, all 8 episodes, they got some jams in there, right? Some solid music choices throughout, something I did actually appreciate. I did feel, again, some of these episodes were a little bit forced. You had obviously a lot of supporting players in here as well. They clicked, but you were engaged in some stories, some not so much. There was a lot going on, but not too much going on at the same time. There's development, but not a lot of development. At times, 22 minutes felt like an eternity. So it did drag at times as well. Again, there was some development. The story progresses, right? But like the stories within the story, your B story, your C story, following the characters, it kind of just left me, looking for something else to do. This is a good show to maybe watch a couple episodes and have it on as background noise as you're cooking, cleaning, doing whatever. Part that surprised me the most. Now, this is a spoiler-free review. I found it extremely ballsy the way this show ended. So this show ends on a cliffhanger. Right? Not really spoiling, not gonna let you know. Hangs on a cliffhanger though. And I thought that was very ballsy to do considering how epic of a fail Thunder Force actually was, right? And to end that, I would almost put a stamp of approval on the fact that this does not get picked up for a season 2. I love Melissa McCarthy. I love Ben Falcone. I think he's funny in his own right as well. But as of late, that comedy duo together just has not been doing a lot for me. Now, in 7 Perfect Strangers, it's a Hulu show if you want to watch that. Melissa McCarthy's in there. Ben Falcone has very brief cameo appearances. Didn't think that screwed with anything, but it's almost you want to leave Melissa McCarthy alone. Just let her do her own thing because she's amazing and she's hilarious. But I don't know, lately when she's working with her husband, it just doesn't seem like the best, right? For this show, honestly, like I said, I don't think it's going to get picked up for a season 2. I think you could find many other things. The Adam Sandler movie just released on there. I think there's some other shows releasing pretty quick on there to watch your time. I would give this show a very, very, very generous 5.5 at its best. I wanted it to be a lot more. There is a couple funny moments within the show, but again, it just wasn't for me. I walked into it thinking it would be funny just with the names attached to it. Bruce Almighty still kind of sets the bar pretty high in terms of God message movies. This wasn't anywhere close. So guys, if you're considering watching this, again, I did not like the pilot, so I wouldn't even say give it an episode or two. I personally would shy away from it. I wouldn't watch this again. Very curious to see if this does get picked up for a season 2 to kind of follow the story. I personally do not think it will. But that's all the time here for today, folks. Like I said, just watched the series last night. Wanted to get in front of you, let you know what I thought towards it. Would love to hear from you guys in the comment section if you have watched it. What are your thoughts on Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone working together? Are you a big fan of it? I really loved them a lot in Bridesmaids. Thought it was hilarious. Thunder Force, absolutely awful. Again, 29 splat rating. But would love to hear from you guys. Do you think that could be kind of holding her back a little bit? Because when she's on her own and you throw Ben Falcone in maybe like a little cameo setting, it's pretty funny. But when those two are working directly together, I just don't think the spark's there right now. Not to say it won't be there in the future, but it's just not there right now. Would love to hear from you guys. Again, hit that like and subscribe button. Stay up to date on all things films with Farrell. Until next time.